To tell you about a style of interacting with Claude that I'm starting to use quite a bit that I like. And it's a little different way of interacting with software than I'm used to. And it may be that people that say, oh, I've got agents running everything, that this is what they mean. But this is not how I think of it. So I'll try to explain it to you with three different examples. The first example is using it as just a one-person CRM. Maybe you could keep that CRM in a spreadsheet, and you say, these are the people I want to contact, and I want to keep track of the status of that relationship. Like, I want to know if they've replied, what the next step is, that kind of thing. Now, you can make a spreadsheet for that, and you could go into the spreadsheet and update stuff, or you could just have Claude manage the spreadsheet and talk to it. I sent an email to Paul earlier, just update the spreadsheet, and it will. Or I heard back from Henry, update the spreadsheet, and it will. So in that way, the entire interface between you and the spreadsheet can be through Claude, and you never have to do anything in the spreadsheet. That's not that powerful, but I do like it, especially if you start to use like voice chat with Claude, because then you can just be kind of, I don't know, watching TV and then be like, do this, do that, do this. Okay, so that's one example. Another example is the entire new Kelsey's website that I'm building. Should I be using CMS? Maybe, but I'm not. I'm saying build this website and store it in GitHub, and then show it to me in preview, and I will point to the pieces and parts of it that I want you to change and tell you how I want the words to change or how I want a diagram to change, and it will just do it, make the updates in GitHub, update the preview so that I like it, and then once I'm ready, I say, okay, go ahead and deploy. And so I can manage the whole website that way, and I never, ever look at HTML files, go into a CMS, nothing. I just talk to Claude. And you might think, well, yeah, but my website has features. And actually, I did run into this. So this is the third example. I have like blog entries on the website. They have to be authored and then published. I just do it the same way. I say, Claude, make this blog entry and then show it to me in a preview. It shows it to me, I look at it, I tell it to update these parts, change these words, like really able to like edit it down to the word without ever entering a text editor. I just don't want to use a text editor. I'll just tell it how I want to change things. Sometimes I'll just say, change the style or the tone to be more like this, or sometimes I'll say, change this word to that word. And again, I can point at the preview area and just do it. Then when I'm ready to publish, I can say, okay, this blog entry is ready. Please publish it to the blog page. And it will just do it. It'll go ahead and mark it as, it'll add it to the blog page, and then it can deploy it out. Because remember, I do this crazy thing where I connect Claude directly to my AWS. Is it dangerous? A little bit, but not that bad. I've been doing it for like over 8 months now, and the models are getting better, not worse. And then another thing that I ran into is, well, when I make a new blog entry, I want to have an email go out with it, and I want the email to have the same contents as the blog entry. So I had to build a little engine that could turn the blog entry into an email. But again, I have to like be able to edit that email as a first-class citizen. And again, I want to do it in Claude. I don't want to use a text editor. So that email becomes another file that's again stored in GitHub, so that it'll always have a copy of it and I'll never lose it, and I can update it and keep track of the versions. But I can just talk to Claude and say, show it to me in a preview. And I can even make a little test thing that says, test this, just send it to my email so that I can see what it looks like. And so that's the loop I'm creating, is all the artifacts, all the things that are parts of something that somebody else might see, like a web page, an email, a blog post, a spreadsheet, are things that live in the software somewhere else, and I interact through all of it, with all of it, through Claude. And it's really powerful. You do have to take a couple of steps of being willing to like connect your Claude directly to AWS. I've offered before that a way to do that might be to have a CI/CD system that can only publish through a certain CI/CD mechanism, and then have a read-only account for AWS. That's not what I do. I just have a kind of a narrow account for certain production things that only has those few things running in it. And that's a way of sort of making sure that I don't bring it down all other client applications or other Kelsey's applications just my little stuff that I work on that I put to production. So that's another way you could manage this. Anyway, I talked for 5 minutes. Hopefully that was useful to you. Let me know. Let me know if you do something similar.